Hey, what's good, everybody? It's Pooh Bear with GSO Waz, and this is our podcast, but not just our podcast. This is our episode one, our first flagship episode of us getting even into the podcast world. You can find it on YouTube, uh, and you could find it on all your podcast platforms like Apple and Google Play and Spotify. But today we're not doing anything too crazy. I just wanted to give you a little more background on us here at GSO Waz. I wanted to give you a little background on myself and my history, how I got to do this, and then tell you what you can come to expect from this podcast. So, with that, let's just get it started. Let's throw on some soft music just so you have something in the background, and let's get it going. So, first, GSO Waz. What is it? Well, Waz is short for Whiteout Survival. So, it's a podcast from GSO all about Whiteout Survival. This game that we play, that we love, or that just frustrates us, but we can't walk away from it. It started initially as our mother channel, which is GSO Game Time. Game Time was going to be a channel devoted to all kinds of games all over the place. And, we were going to review games and we had this great idea ready to go. And, well, we ended up playing very heavy Call of Duty. This is about 4 years ago. And we were playing it every day. Had a whole bunch of our friends. We were on Discord. We were doing zombies and we were running maps and, buying, new skins so you could get killed by me, even though I look like Freddy Krueger or whatever, right? And it was going great. We were producing videos. I had friends helping me. We did a series on cheating because that was just out of control. So I wanted to throw a spotlight on it. And everything was great. And I don't know, all of a sudden, life started changing, I think, for everybody. We had one friend that wanted to go play a different game. They were getting burnt out. We all were on Call of Duty. We had another friend who had a kid, so he wasn't coming around anymore. And the group just sort of broke up. And then there was a very small set of us still doing some zombies. And we just decided we were kind of done with Call of Duty. So GSO Game Time kind of took a break. And I decided, well, I'm going to start doing mobile game reviews. Maybe that's a route that would still be interesting to me and interesting to the people watching. So I did that. And after I did one or two of them, I came across an ad for Whiteout Survival. And I said, well, let's give it a try. I started playing it. And of course, my first reaction in the, first 10, 15 minutes, I'm like, this is for children. This is so not for me. It had the little cartoon effects with the voices and, the different stuff. And I'm like, oh no, Grandpa, you sick? Let's go inside. We need to eat food. Yeah, I don't know. It was just, that was just so berserk to me. I'm like, well, this ain't going to last. But maybe it can make a good little video to report to people what it's about. Never made the video. Kept playing the game. And I can't believe that I got that into a game. I mean, this is a mobile game. I call it like a toilet game. When you're in the bathroom, sitting on the throne, you're going to watch a video or reply to something. You're playing on your phone a little bit. So it's a toilet game. And no, I was surprised. Not a toilet game. So made no videos for a long time. Just played this game super heavy. And decided just about a month and a half ago, why don't we make a sub-channel called GSO Waz? And that's where the GSO Waz came from. Now, if you're wondering what GSO stands for, it was a saying a friend of mine made when we were playing Call of Duty. And obviously the podcast is not necessarily just for kids, but it stands for get shit on. So he'd be playing, if he got a kill, he's like, get shit on! And it sort of stuck, so that's where GSO came from. Now, moving on to myself, right? So, I, long time ago, many moons, many a lifetime ago, I was a rapper. I was in a group. We made awesome music. And my rap name was Jokesta. So a lot of my friends, even to this day, they'll call me up and be like, hey, Joke, what's going on? Like, they still call me Joke. So when we started playing Call of Duty, I went by the name Jokesta. Well, it made sense. Then when we did the cheating series, I didn't want to play as myself, of course. I had to make a brand new account, and I wanted something ridiculous. So I made Poop on Face. Kind of went with the theme of, get crapped on, And I played as that. And then when I started playing this game, I decided, why not? I'm going to be Poop on Face. So we start out, it put us in just any random server, which happened to be State 1398. And I was Poop on Face. It turned a lot of people off. They really didn't like the name. People didn't really want to talk with me, or I'd be like, hey, how you doing? They're like, your name is gross. I even had an emoji of poo. And so eventually I had to come up with a different name. But by then, everybody just kept calling me Pooh. I was stuck with the name. There was nothing I can do. So I'm like, okay, if I can't get rid of Pooh, what can I do? Well, I'm originally from here in America, and I'm from the state of Illinois. We have a football team there named the Chicago Bears. So I'm big in my team. I'm big into football, and I decided, why not be Pooh Bear? So it's the best of both worlds. There's the birth of the name Pooh Bear. Now it's just been that way ever since, and that's what pretty much everyone knows me as, is Pooh Bear. So that's kind of me. I'm loving, Whiteout Survival. I'm playing the game. It's enjoyable. But the third kind of topic, right, that we kind of have, and it's, what can you expect from our podcast? And you're here, you're listening to us. What you're going to get is talk about Whiteout Survival. I went on, I don't know if it was like Apple Podcast, and I searched Whiteout Survival, and one came up, and it was just all the financing that went into Whiteout Survival, but it really had nothing to do with the game. So it turned me off. I was like, yeah, boo. I went and looked at another one, and it said Whiteout Survival, and it was like from a couple. I listened to it, and the whole time they're talking about, yes, we play Whiteout Survival, but this is just about our life, like laundry and how messy the floor is and how she gets upset at him and he wants her to go make friends and get out of the house. And I'm thinking, are you ever going to talk about the game? I'm in the car. I want to hear this. I wanted to sue them for part of my life back because it just sort of pissed me off. Now, maybe they have a lot of people following them and a lot of people listening, and that's cool if they do. But it just wasn't for me. If you put Whiteout Survival, I want to kind of hear about Whiteout Survival. I want to hear about events. I want to hear kind of your strategy, your thoughts. So you are definitely going to get a lot of Whiteout Survival talk from this podcast, straight up. It may be real life things, but it's going to somehow link back or relate to us playing Whiteout Survival. Plain and simple. It is mainly a faceless channel, like when it comes to the podcast part. I'm not really on the regular videos when I'm talking about Frostfire and how to do, Mia or Maya, however you want to word it, doing her event and that. There's no reason for me to put, this, goofy round looking face. You're not there to see me. You're there to hear my content and hope I deliver it decent, right? That's what it's all about. So primarily a faceless channel, here and there I'll pop on, because it is a real person. It ain't automation. We're going to recap the week of the videos that we kind of put out and give you kind of my thoughts and how I feel a particular video went or what I thought of the data that was coming out of that video. If you watched it, you can chime in on it with comments. I want this to be a kind of relationship, between us. Then I want to do interviews. I'm going to interview regular everyday people. I want to interview whales. I want to interview mega whales. I'm going to make it in a video format, but I will also play some of the interviews and the videos so you get the audio on the podcast if it was really interesting from the week. You're going to get real life talk. Like, why do I sound like Biggie Smalls? And why do I have all these lisps when I talk, right? Because I just had surgery on my mouth. I had to get a bunch of teeth extracted. So I'm still swollen. I got stitches. So that's why I kind of talk a little funny. But real talk, all right? That's what it's all about. There's no reason to not do it, because there's a real person behind all this craziness. And then we're going to do a mail call. So questions that I'm getting either from the podcast on comments, the things I'm getting in videos and people have questions, or from friends or newcomers that are coming and want to ask questions on Discord, I will bring them up here and we're going to talk about it. So that's why we call it the mail call, because I'm answering your questions directly. We have a Twitter account that I have linked in the description. I try to also include it when in all the videos, but it is for our mother channel, GSO Game Time. But we talk about a ton of Whiteout Survival stuff on this channel, so please, go follow us on X. There is a current Discord, but it was, like I said, because it was GSO Game Time, it morphed into flight simulators and all this stuff. So we're gonna make a brand new Discord server just for GSO WAS and GSO WAS podcast. It'll just make it so much easier. So be on the lookout for that. And I'm hoping the cadence of our releases on these podcasts are every week. But, it's a bit of a one-man show. We're working on a original series of the heroes in Whiteout Survival as kids. So you're going to get, voices, and you're going to have still pictures that kind of go with these stories that we're making. I think that's super exciting. No one has that. No one's doing that. I have to produce videos, a few every week for different events and kind of what's happening, keep it relevant. I want to do a couple documentaries about the game. So just staying busy. So I'm hoping to get this out once a week. Worst case scenario, it'll be once every 2 weeks. That I promise. For you that are following this on YouTube, even though it is faceless, if I'm going to bring up like, hey, I played this game, I'm going to throw up an image of that game. So you do have some things to kind of look at on the video, but not the entire time. It's mainly about what's being said on this podcast. And that's what you can expect from GSO WAS. GSO Whiteout Survival. I'm excited for the journey. I think we're going to have a good time. I hope I can at least, give you information, because what is our mission at GSO WAS? We want to be entertaining, and we also want to be give you some education. What's the best way that we found to do a particular guide, or is this event worth it, or how much are you really paying per fire crystal when you're buying a whole bunch of them, and just different stuff. So again, it's all about education, and it's also about entertainment. And we're just going to keep it light. We're going to have fun. Maybe we'll have a few cocktails. We'll have just friends on, just talking nonsense now and again. Again, I hope to do interviews. I hope not to say the same word over and over again. Like, like I was doing this and, just fun stuff like that. It doesn't need to be endlessly long. It'll be half hour to an hour episodes that we kind of have. I'm going to get a few of them recorded and ready for you to be released. So if you wanted to start out and just have, 2 or 3 right away, it'll be there for you. And yeah, no matter what platform you're listening to this on or you're following, if you have the ability to kind of make a comment and subscribe, please do. Tell me who you are in the game. What state do you play for? Are you enjoying this game? Do you, does your family play it, or is it just you? The age bracket in this game is, all over the place. I've seen teenagers all the way up to, we actually had a Alliance member. He was 72 years old to play the game. Bless his heart. And we're definitely going to talk about him in another episode coming up, because that is just such a special man. But I don't know, right? This is going to be about the journey, what we found, what we expect. I never thought I would ever have so many interesting conversations with people all over the world. everywhere. You know, I mean, it's crazy. Thank God there's a translator in the game. Otherwise, I couldn't have these conversations because it's Arabic and Turkish and German and Italian. And I mean, everybody plays this game. Indonesian, some sort of Asian, this and that. It's awesome. It's awesome. I made such lovely in-game friends. And there's a few of them that I even got to be on Discord. I've been talking to them for 2.5 years now. I mean, I feel like they're real life friends. It's awesome. But yeah, that's enough of hearing me and what we got going on. But that's what you can expect from this channel, this podcast. So I hope you do kind of follow us or subscribe. And we're going to try to give you as much good audio content as possible. So thank you very much for listening if you made it this far. And enjoy the rest of your day. Like I end every video, we're going to end the podcast the same way. Pooh Bear out.